beautiful. I hope you are still doing well. If it's your first time here, my name is Piladi, and in today's bald head makeup tutorial, I'm going to start off by priming my face using my Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Erasing Primer. It's not even a bald head makeup tutorial thing. It's like a buzz cut, you know? You buzz. I will be setting this primer using this Yardley loose powder, which I'm in the shade Cappuccino. I want to see how this method works with a powder that's closer to my skin tone, because we already know how beautifully it works with the translucent one. This is so new! I must say, I'm really excited. I was contemplating putting on a wig, but I was like, no man, Lily, just go. Let's all go as you are. Moving swiftly along, I am now going to conceal, contour, and highlight. I am not concealing with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Twaffy. The reason why I bring my concealer all the way over my nostril is because I want my nose to appear more narrow when I go into contour. So the more you bring it in, the narrower your nose will appear. And now while I let this concealer get a bit tacky, I'm going to go in and contour using my Makeup Revolution foundation stick, and I will be using it with a brush, so I will just take some product off. I'm not going to apply it directly onto my face as I would in previous tutorials. So I'm just going to use the brush to apply my contour right where I want it. And if you have short hair like me, you want to blend it into your hairline just so that it doesn't look wonky where the foundation stops and your contour begins. Just mesh it well into your hairline. So when I went to the barber, they trimmed this side. As you can see, there's like a line here. It's only now that I'm putting on makeup I can tell that there's like this, you know, where he went with the razor, like so and so. I'm gonna let my hair grow out at that spot because honey, I do not like what I see. Because I wear makeup. When I wasn't wearing makeup, I couldn't even tell that that is visible. And for my cheekbones, I'm going to go in with the Rechte contour brush. Also going to dip it into some product. Alright, so I'm gonna turn the sponge around and just blend this contour so it doesn't, you know, appear so harsh. It's just that when you have no hair, like, you notice everything. Like even doing steps that I wouldn't normally be doing if I had, you know, hair to hide behind. Because hair really, it covers a lot, and now it's like I just have this canvas, a blank, real everything, see everything canvas. I like to blend the concealer into my contour, and then I will take my foundation. Usually it would be a brush, but now I'll take the sponge, the side where I have the foundation, and just mesh everything together seamlessly so that there aren't any lines of demarcation going on there, and that everything is just well blended. When it comes to the concealer on the bridge of my nose, I like to just pat it with this Real Techniques Expert Concealer brush. I find that it's the perfect width for the bridge of my nose. I always leave this part of blending out the concealer last, because the longer your concealer sits, the more full coverage it becomes. As you can see, even without contour on my nose, because I didn't apply any, the nose is already snatched. And then I'm going to go in with a little contour just to emphasize my already snatched nose with more product. So I will be going into the F18 foundation stick with this angled Yardley brush. I must say, I've never created an L-shaped nose contour on my channel, but I guess today we are just experimenting now onto E. And to blend it out, I will use my Real Techniques crease brush because I hardly ever use it to blend out shadows, so I might as well just use it for my nose contour. And it works like a gem because it really softens the area where the contour meets the concealer, because you really don't want there to be harsh lines there looking like the leave-in. Trust me, sis, I know what I'm talking about because I have been there. And somebody was on IG was like, oh, you must blend out your okay, I'm just assuming they speak like that, but she said I should blend out my nose contour. And ever since then, oh my goodness, I have been working extra hard to make sure that my nose contour is always blended, because you guys know I love a snatched nose. And I'm still not done. I'm going to go on in with that damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to go over this area. I bet you would be proud of me now. Alright, beauty, so now to further brighten up my under eye area, I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution Concealing Defined Concealer in the shade C12. And this Makeup Revolution concealer, it dries down real quick, beauty, so I just like to apply it and blend it out. And with this concealer, what I do is I keep it mainly underneath my eyes. I'm not going to drag it as low as I did the Toffee concealer. And I'm going to immediately set the under eye concealer because I don't want it to crease with my Sorbet Powder to You translucent powder. And I'm going to start off by patting it into the product. And I'm going to further emphasize this nose contour by carving it out with some more powder. And now we can set the rest of the areas where we have that concealer. I'm going to take this contour brush and I'm going to set my contour. This is my Wet n Wild pressed powder in the shade Dark Cafe. Just going to pat it along where I have that contour, because you should always remember to set all your cream products. And for blush, I will be using my signature blush, the one that fell, yes, that one. I'm really into this blush, guys. So what I like to do is I like to tap it on the apples of my cheek. Just let it sit. Okay, I'll dust some on the bridge of my nose. I'll tap off the excess, and just to bring, you know, color back into the rest of my face. This is just the technique that I've been loving to use. Okay, now I have to go and get the Yardley pressed powder that I use to diffuse this blush and to set the rest of my face. I found it. So I'm going to use my Yardley pressed powder in the shade Walnut to diffuse this blush and to set the rest of my face where I have foundation, you know. I just love this powder because it just warms up my face, you know. It brings back just a more a more natural color back into my face, because that Wet n Wild pressed powder is a bit cool toned. It's not a bit cool, it is a cool tone powder, and this one is more warmer. Alright, so I did some reverse contouring. First, I went in with the sorbet, and then I realized that I've always wanted to try out reverse contouring with a powder that's closer to my skin tone. So I went over the sorbet one with this Yardley loose powder in the shade Cappuccino. Right now, I am going to bronze my face, and I will be using my Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade Palm Beach Ready, and today I will be using it with a damp beauty blender. And because my skin is going through the most, I am not going to use a lot, especially because I apply this bronzer on the affected area. Okay, beauty, so time for eyes. Now I will be priming my lid space with my Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock eyeshadow primer. The palette that I will be playing in today is this one by Makeup Revolution with Soph Does Nails. She's a YouTuber, and it's this gorgeous 24 color eyeshadow palette. It does come with names, but you beauties know I am not going to be using that. I'll just point to the shades like I normally do with palettes that have no names. First shade I'll be picking up is this one right here, and I will be taking it on my Zoeva 221 brush. This brush is a tad bit too big, so I'm going to switch to my Zoeva 231 brush. Alright, so now that I'm done packing on the shade, I am going to blend it out with that Zoeva 221 brush. I really love how Makeup Revolution eyeshadows blend out, beauties. They are so easy to work with. It's so effortless to blend them out. It's just a dream to work with these eyeshadow palettes. Alright, the next shade I will be picking up because I really do want a very dark and broody look today. I'm going to go into both of these brown shades because for the life of me, I can't tell which is darker than which, and to be quite honest, they actually look the same to me. So I'm going to apply both of them directly into my crease area and my outer V. Alright, so now I'm going to go back into the shade that I used initially, and I'm going to marry the brown shades into that transition color. Alright, so now I'm going to cut my crease using my Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. This one is in the shade Create. Alright, now I'm going to use this eyeshadow helper just to pat the outside edges of this cut crease canvas. This just helps it become more easier to blend, close off that outer V area. And I'm going to go back into the palette, and I feel like going in with this shade to close it off today. And that is a shimmer shade, by the way. And then I'm going to take those brown shades and just overlap them a bit with the shade that we just laid down. And I think everything will be more visible if I just drag everything to my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the browns and drag them along my lower lash line, and then I'm going to take that first transition shade that we used to blend it all out. Alright, now and for the rest of my mobile lid, I'm going to go into both of these shimmer shades. Okay, these shimmer shades are a lot more quiet than I expected. I expected more pizzazz and more, you know, shine, but I guess you get what you pay for. So I'm going to go back into the palette, and I will take this shimmer shade right here and start to overlap it with the gold, just to create a beautiful gradient. I'm blessed. Spotlight from my cell phone. Sounds like These shimmer shades are really underwhelming and they are really giving me anxiety, so I am going to spice things up the only way I know how, and I will be applying something else on top of this mini disaster. So one thing that I know will not disappoint is this highlighter quad that I got from Quality Makeup SA. I love it so much because these shades are so pigmented and always rescue me whenever, you know, I need a little more pizzazz on the eyes. So alrighty, this looks so beautiful now, and I'm not even going to take it further into my mobile lid because I just love how it is blending into and fading into that lid shimmer shade. I will be using my Essence Super Lost eyeliner to give myself a wing today. I actually don't feel like doing a whole entire wing today. I'm just going to give myself like a line just to hide the band of my lashes. And since today seems to be all about experimenting, I want to give myself an inner corner highlight, but this time I will be going in with one of the colors from my neon stack, and the one that is calling out at me is this green one right here. Why not, Vele? Why not? Alright, so now to lock everything in place, I'm going to go in with my NYX Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. Gee whiz, my lashes almost stuck to my bottom lashes. Don't worry, my eyes were shut so tight. Ooh, banana. I just love how setting spray just brings everything back to life. All right, now time for lips. I will be going in with both of these lippies. They're both matte lippies, but I will top them off with some gloss afterwards. All right, now for my hair, I'm going to use this serum that I bought from Avon. It's a nourishing hair serum. The reason why I am using it is because I want to mesh in the foundation with my hairline, you know. Alright, beauty, so now that you have made it here, please click on this tutorial because you know the drill. Sis, if you enjoyed this beatnik, I know you're gonna love that one as well. And if you haven't already, my darling, please subscribe to my channel and show your girl some love. I will catch up with you beauties again in my next one. Bye.